Unhappy is he to whom the memories of childhood bring only fear and sadness. Wretched is he who looks back upon the lone hours in vast and dismal chambers with brown hangings and maddening rows of antique books, or upon the odd watches in twilight groves of grotesque, gigantic, and vine-encumbered trees that silently wave twisted branches far aloft. Such a lot the gods gave to me, the dazed, the disappointed, the barren, the broken. And yet I am strangely content to cling desperately to those sere memories, when my mind momentarily threatens to reach beyond to the other.
So,
The Inside Outer?
The Outsider. This is a game I found on Armor Games, based on my favorites, H.P. Lovecraft. More of a long poem, I guess. I don't know. Short story, long poem, hard to say, but still, The Outsider. Unhappy is he to whom the memories of childhood bring only fear and sadness.
And madness, because this is Lovecraft.
Yes. Outside, across the putrid moat and under the dark mute trees, I would often lie and dream for hours. Sorry, I'm gonna have to move and get closer because this is actually kind of tiny.
Did they simply copy the book?
I wouldn't say simply. I mean, there's a lot of things you gotta do here that some of it do not appear in the book. Because I gotta grab At my feet, I found a small piece of rope sticking out of the ground, but was unable to wrest it from its earthly prison with my hands. No, damn it. Let's see. Yeah, it's a point-and-click game.
Yeah.
There. Go back again.
That's a...
Because I need a branch.
It was one of the first Lovecraft stories I ever read, but there are several that I like more.
True. I don't know, I've always liked this one, and I did not read that at all, so... plonk. Once I tried to escape from the forest, but as I went farther from the castle, the shade grew denser and the air more filled with brooding fear that I read slowly.
But I frantically dipped.
Now, use this. I guess I can't use the stick on that. I'll be coming back for it then. But I love the imagery they used in this. The first digit is double the third digit. The second digit is a prime. All three numbers add to 9.
Oh, that's easy. The second one is 3. The first one is 6.
Okay.
But then again, actually, never mind, because that adds... Oh. Because that would work, and they'd add up to 9, but that means the third one has to be 0.
Oh. Check. No. I forget about this.
Without more clues, there's a lot of potential solutions. Because another possibility then would be... Oh wait, first digit is double the third digit. I was thinking double the second. Okay, that makes it a bit easier. Okay, so that means...
Oh, the first digit is double the third digit. I got it backwards. 603.
Except 0 is not, strictly speaking, a prime number. Let's see. First digit, double the third digit, the second is a prime. So, prime numbers between 1 and 10. We'll ignore 7 because that can't possibly be it, because then it's too small area left. So let's say can't be 5 because can't do even numbers into 5. Which means the middle number must be 3, 2, or
1. Okay. So, with 3, what's a number you can multiply 3 times, add 3 to, and get 10?
This is actually fairly confusing.
2, 4, 6, and then... Oh, wait, 9. First digit is double the third digit. So if the first digit was 4, this was 2, and this was 3, then you've got 9. 3, 4, 2.
There we go.
Got it, cool. And I failed math. Okay. The stones in the crumbling corridors seemed always hideously damp, and there was an accursed smell everywhere, as of the piled-up corpses of dead generations. Ah! Didn't mean to walk over there. Oh,
The grateful dead generations.
from books I learned all that I know. No teacher urged or guided me. But here you've got a bust of H.P. Lovecraft.
I don't want to know about his bust.
Goody. Wretched is he who looks back upon lone hours in vast and dismal chambers, with brown hangings and maddening rows of antique books, or upon odd arches and twilight groves that I am too slow to read.
You know, I have the complete Lovecraft on the shelf. If you grab me the book, I can pull it up.
Yet, on top I found a single wooden plank hanging over the edge, just out of reach. Well, we can... There's nothing saying we can't do a dramatic reading of some Lovecraft sometime. In fact, I'd personally love to do that.
I say we can't. Mostly because I hate the sound of my own voice when I hear it.
So
I'm
do
sure
I, but
everybody else feels the same.
not necessarily. Let's grab a look, I guess. No, good. Need to go back in there. I know not where I was born, save the castle was infinitely old and infinitely horrible, full of dark passages and having high ceilings, and quick scrolling texts. Well, it wasn't scrolling, but hey. It was never light, so that I used sometimes to light candles and gaze steadily at them for relief. I got a hatchet! But I don't have a match. I'm going to see about going back and getting that roll.
Well, I know where you can get a match. Go to the matchmaker.
Yeah, okay. I was worried it was going to be horrible.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Bayaki, bayaki.
Yeah.
Let's see how did it start? No, bayaki, bayaki, fly me through space. Take me away, far from this place. Out of Tartarian darkness appear, and fly me away from here.
Lovecraft has inspired a lot, from the silly to the genuinely amazing. Oh, I didn't read the top there. I felt my head touch a solid thing, and I knew I must have gained the roof.
My head touched a solid thing.
Nothing there. Is there anything on the stairs? Probably not.
Probingly.
Born, seek, behind scenes where they actually find only cobwebs and shadows.
And shadow noses.
The shadow shows. Is there... The ladder would not budge.
Fly me away
Yep, wait.
to beer.
Send me out. Did that send me out too? No, that's just that. It's To me, dazed, disappointed, barren, broken, yet I am strangely contented and desperately through those serene memories when my mind momentarily threatens to reach beyond the other. I need a match.
You've got a stick.
Yeah, I've got a stick, but no fire. Stick on candle. Either. Oh, wait. Can I use my...
I guess it won't chop up the stick. Sure,
Raise my free hand, test the barrier, locked and immovable. Oh! Oh, I didn't.
The stick was the key?
Yeah, I guess I just got the key. Matches. Believing I was now at a prodigious height, 8 far above the accursed branches of the wood, I dragged myself up from the floor. Checking one of the many boxes lying on the floor, I found it to be empty. But I've got matches, so I can go back down.
I found it to be hungry.
Oh, wrong one. I gotta go the other one.
Apparently you can't light the candle.
Oh, wait, I think that... Oh, that's a brick. I am an idiot.
Well, it is kind of monochrome.
True. Wait.
So open the door with the brick.
Oh. Oh!
Oh, you're going fishing with the brick?
No. That was a line I got, I guess. And now I'm making a hook or something. Now I found the matches. They were in a box here that he just said was freaking empty.
I'm a humping in a box. I'm a humping in a cardboard box.
I'm a humming in a box. So now that I've got the matches, let me light the candle.
Savor of hummings.
The room is filled with warm heat of the candle, and a key, and...
bones.
Beings must have cared for my needs, yet I cannot recall any person except myself, or anything alive but the noiseless rats and bats and spiders. That's all I needed here.
No book?
No book. It just told me about the bats and rats and spiders.
No book, Yuki.
No book, Yuki? No bukake. So now I have a key to this door! And a shovel! I need to find a random child's grave and dig it up for a key. No, oh crap, I do gotta go back down again. All the way back to the beginning.
To dig up the thing.
Yes. To dig up the thing at the very first panel. There we go, got the rope, tied it to my brick, now I've got a big thing.
I thought you'd already tied it up to a line.
I did, but the line, if I remember right, the line wasn't long enough. Now with the rope, it's long enough to hit the other side. I can climb. Summoning a supreme burst of strength, I attempted to force the gate outward, and found myself unable to open it. But, aha! I can climb! Using my jury-rigged climbing rope, I easily scaled the gate. Half unconscious, I staggered out upon the white gravel path that stretched away in two directions. My mind, stunned and chaotic as it was, still held this...
The frantic craving of, I just climbed out of the ground, even though it was the roof.
Precisely.
Yes, we all know how this is ended.
Yeah. Well, most of the people watching probably don't, because sadly, H.P. Lovecraft is known more for Cthulhu and not any of his other stories.
Which is his most famous, but certainly not his best.
Yes. Over 2 hours must have passed before I reached what seemed to be my goal. A venerable eaved castle in a thickly wooded park, maddeningly familiar yet full of perplexing strangeness to me. I looked in and saw an oddly dressed company, indeed making merry and speaking brightly to one another.
Elfin Lead!
Huh?
This is Lilium.
I had crossed the sill when there descended upon the whole company a sudden and unheralded fear of hideous intensity, distorting every face and evoking the most horrible screams from every throat. Fright was universal.
But no, seriously, this is like a music box version of the main theme to Elfin Lead.
Oh, cool. At a casual inspection of the room seemed deserted, but when I moved toward one of the alcoves, I thought I detected a presence there, a hint of motion beyond the golden-arched doorway, leading to another somewhat similar room. As I approached the arch and began to perceive the precise presence more clearly, and then I beheld in full frightful vividness and incomprehensible, indescribable, and unmentionable monstrosity. I reached out my hand. And touched a pane of glass. I know always that I am an outsider, a stranger in this century, and among those who are still men. This I have known ever since I stretched out my fingers to the abomination within that great gilded frame, stretched out my fingers, and touched a cold and unyielding surface of polished glass. I really loved this story just for the ending. It was sad and awesome and still very Lovecraft.
The name of the tune is Lilium, by the way.
Oh, Lilium?
Yes.
Okay. I may have to look at it, because that was a good tune, especially for the scenario it was bringing up.
Yeah, it's in Latin, so I don't remember the words. I remember the first parts, like O-C, Juicy, or something.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you've got YouTube here.
Yeah, I can always look it up.
YouTube.
But that was The Outsider. I'm going to link to it in Armor Games. I would definitely suggest playing it, as well as reading anything by H.P. Lovecraft.
The Inside Outsider.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.
For although Nepenthe has claimed me, I know always that I am an outsider, a stranger in this century, and among those who are still men. This I have known ever since I stretched out my fingers to that abomination within that great gilded frame. Stretched out my fingers, and touched a cold and unyielding surface of polished glass.